Picture this. It's 2 a.m. A trader, let's call him Ryan, is staring at his screen. His heart is pounding. Bitcoin just broke a key level. The candle is green. It's moving fast. His hands are already on the keyboard, and in 5 seconds, he clicks buy. No plan, no stop loss, no confirmation. Just pure fear of missing out. 3 hours later, he's staring at a red screen, wondering where half his portfolio went. Here's the painful truth. Ryan didn't lose because he was too slow. He lost because he was too fast. And I guarantee, if you've ever traded crypto, you've had a Ryan moment, maybe more than once. So today, we're going to talk about one of the most misunderstood skills in all of trading, the difference between speed and patience, and why getting this wrong is silently destroying most traders' accounts. The illusion of speed. Here's what the internet tells you about trading. Be fast, react instantly, never miss a move, set up your alerts, have your finger on the trigger at all times. And look, there's some truth in that. Speed absolutely matters in trading, but not in the way most people think. When professionals talk about speed, they're not talking about being the first one to see a green candle and smash the buy button. They're talking about execution speed, the ability to act without hesitation once your setup is already confirmed. Think about it this way. Imagine a professional sniper. He doesn't run around the battlefield shooting at anything that moves. He waits, he studies, he lines up the perfect shot, and then, when the moment arrives, he acts in an instant. No hesitation, no second guessing. That is the kind of speed trading rewards. Because here's what happens when you delay a valid entry. Slippage kills your edge. A trade you planned with a 3-to-1 risk-reward can shrink to barely 1-to-1 just because you hesitated for 30 seconds. The market doesn't wait, and your profit potential disappears with it. So yes, when your setup is confirmed, speed matters. But the question is, how do you get to that moment? The real skill, patience. This is where most traders completely fall apart. Not on execution, not on strategy, on patience. Let me paint you another picture. You've done your analysis, you've marked your zones, you know exactly where you want to enter. And then, the market starts moving in your direction, but it doesn't quite reach your level. It gets close, really close, and that little voice starts whispering, just enter now, it's basically there, you're gonna miss it. Sound familiar? That voice is not your instinct. That voice is your emotion pretending to be logic. And every time you listen to it, you're not trading your strategy anymore, you're trading your feelings. Here's what patience actually does for you. Patience stops you from overtrading, from filling your week with low-quality setups just because you feel the need to be active in the market. Patience stops you from chasing green candles, from buying at the top of a move because your FOMO screamed louder than your plan. Patience stops you from forcing trades, from convincing yourself a setup exists when the chart is clearly saying, wait. One high-quality trade, one, beats 10 emotional ones every single time. And here's the thing nobody tells you when you're starting out. The best trade you ever take is sometimes the one you chose not to take. The market will always give you another setup, but it will never give you back the capital you lost chasing a bad one. So how do the best traders actually use both, speed and patience, without letting either of them destroy them? They use a 3-phase system, and once you understand this, the way you look at every trade will change completely. Phase 1. Before the trade, be ruthlessly patient. You mark your zones, you set your alerts, you define exactly what needs to happen for you to enter. Structure, liquidity, confirmation, risk to reward. And then, you walk away from the screen. You let the market come to you, not the other way around. If the setup doesn't show up today, that's okay. Protecting your capital is a win. Not every day needs a trade. Phase 2. During the trade, be lightning fast. The moment your criteria are met, you execute. No hesitation, No, let me just watch one more candle. You place your entry, you set your stop loss immediately, and you follow your plan exactly as you wrote it, not as your emotions are screaming at you to adjust it in the moment. Phase 3. After the trade, return to patience. Whether you won or lost, you reset. You don't revenge trade a loss. You don't double down out of ego. You don't re-enter the same pair 3 times in a row because you're convinced the market owes you a win. The market owes you nothing, but discipline pays dividends. Why most traders get it backwards. Here's the cruel irony of most retail traders. They are fast when they should be patient, and patient when they should be fast. They chase breakouts impulsively, they buy the top of a move in excitement, and then, after a loss, they freeze. The very next valid setup appears, and now they're too scared to pull the trigger, too emotionally shaken to execute the trade their plan is telling them to take. Speed fed the fear, and fear killed the discipline. Markets are not random, they are engineered through liquidity grabs, through fake breakouts, through wicks that hunt your stop loss to exploit exactly these emotional reactions. The institutions on the other side of your trade are counting on you to act impulsively when you should wait and hesitate when you should move. The only way to beat that game is not to play it on emotions. So, let me bring it back to Ryan. Ryan didn't fail because the market was unfair. He failed because nobody taught him this. Nobody told him that the most powerful skill in trading isn't a strategy, isn't an indicator, isn't a secret entry pattern. It's knowing when to move and when to be still. Speed makes you efficient, patience makes you profitable, and mastering both, that's what makes you a trader. Not someone who gambles on charts, not someone chasing green candles at 2 a.m., but someone who sits calmly, waits deliberately, and when the right moment comes, acts decisively and without fear. That's the real edge, and it's available to every single one of you watching this right now. So here's your challenge for this week. Before you place your next trade, ask yourself just one question. Am I trading my plan, or am I trading my emotions? If the answer is your emotions, close the chart, walk away, come back when the plan is in control. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Which one do you struggle with most? Acting too fast or waiting too long when the perfect setup is right in front of you? Be honest, because that one answer will tell you exactly where your trading needs to grow. If this video gave you something real today, give it a like, share it with a trader in your circle who needs to hear this, and subscribe because we're just getting started. Trade smart, trade patient, and I'll see you in the next one.